All right, recording's going. Okay,
Okay.
so let's talk. All right, so we're looking at some Masters 3 Widow Ashe, right? Last time we had a session, oh, sorry, you won the raffle. I completely forgot about that. Was back in March, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so talk to me about a little bit about what you've been working on. Do you remember your previous big takeaways? How much have you been working on that kind of stuff?
All right. Definitely the takeaways I neglected for sure. Whether that was an active to be honest, it was just really hard for me to keep it there. I didn't make any sticky notes,
Hmm.
and
You mind
sometimes
if I
things
ask why
go
that
in
is?
one ear out the other. And I did go back a couple times to just kind of like try and get it to click.
Sure, 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 sure. Yeah, I mean, so
Uh,
you mentioned sticky notes. That's something you usually do, right?
it's something that I aspire to do.
Okay. Do you mind if I ask, why we didn't make sticky notes or anything like that?
No post-its.
Oh, gotcha, gotcha. Like you physically did not have sticky notes. Got it. Understood.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. So talk to me about what you've been working on instead then.
Yeah. Climbing the ladder and matchups. So, like for example, uh, and well, mostly tempo. Let's be honest, but matchups. I mean, just keeping track of cooldowns and engaging after a cooldown is used,
Okay.
or you know, on Widowmaker, positioning myself further away,
Okay, good.
and in some situations, of course, I'm still a little try to be flashy with it.
Hmm.
Unfortunately,
Yeah.
it don't always work out, but I'm certainly more careful about it for the most part. But this one, you'll see, it's pretty bad.
Okay. Okay. Alrighty. So just to highlight, right, the things that we highlighted and talked about before, right, and you did mention some of those things just now, but one is you got to try to be less accessible with the middle maker, right, and so you want to prioritize the longer range, wider angles, right. So whenever you walk towards the enemy or like grapple towards the enemy, you got to be really really careful about not doing that when it's not necessary, right?
Right.
Because you need both. You need distance to be both lethal and survivable. Do you remember how we talked about that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Perfect.
I do
Good.
remember.
Good. So you telling me that you're working on your positioning and playing farther back, and that's good to hear. That's good to hear. Then we also talked about being more secretive on your angle, right? And I think this is kind of what you were talking about with the flashiness, right?
Yeah. Mhm.
Good, good, good. So, what in your head is the biggest difficulty that you're running up against when you're working on that particular point?
Uh. Well. Mostly it comes down to the amount of like deaths I have and trying to figure out why, but I'm not so good at figuring out that why myself, even though sometimes it's quite obvious, it's like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, all right, yeah, and I made that pretty big mistake.
Mm-hmm.
Um, such as ego peeking a widow in the bush when she's at sights,
Gotcha. Gotcha. Okay. So I mean that's pretty obvious why if you're losing that duel, you know what I mean? It's like not
Yeah.
really a mystery what's going on there. Sure. So but my original question was when it comes to working about being more secretive and less like outwardly flashy, right? Because you
Yeah.
said you're still doing that from time to time. What is the biggest
Yeah.
difficulty you're running up against when you're working on that particular point?
I jump too much,
Yeah, you're saying grapple jump
it
or like literally jump?
just jumping. Yeah, it's too
Okay.
much of a habit, and so that causes my position to be given away sometimes.
Okay. Okay. Now the jumping isn't like super super loud unless you're like really close to the enemy, right?
I would actually like to argue against that. I think Widowmaker's little hops
Mm-hmm.
are very striking,
Right. Yeah.
and
Very very distinctive for sure. Right. But again, if you're far away, that's not like they can hear it. You know what I mean? In the first
right,
place.
right. Well, I mean, in terms of like flanking, and catching people off angle, and
Okay.
so I've also been working on the taking turns. Not in this VOD apparently, but certainly there are some times where I'll try and peek somewhere for like 3 seconds. If I get a pick or not, I'll switch up the angle very soon after and try
Okay.
to be unpredictable.
Good, good, good. All right, yeah, good. I mean, that's awesome. So, I mean, if you are switching up your angle, that's obviously going to help your sneakiness, your secretiveness, right?
Hmm.
The thing that I'm a little bit concerned about is when you mention, okay, I'm flanking and I'm jumping around when I'm flanking. Well, one, like, are your flank routes so close to the enemy that they can hear you while you're jumping around, right? And two, um, how often are you flanking? Like, is it increasing your downtime by as a result of you flanking too much? You know what I mean? That's also possible.
Mm,
Go ahead.
not usually, actually. Usually, if it's too accessible to the enemy, I'll certainly try and save my grapple to get out as soon as I can. But as far as it being affecting my downtime, it's very minimal usually.
Okay.
I'm not taking these. You know how you have to take a flank on Cassidy, and you have to walk around the whole map just doing that. Usually I don't go on these really really long flanks. Although sometimes it's helpful, but very
Right.
infrequently.
Okay. Okay. I mean, that's good to hear. So
Mhm.
then again, I have to ask, like, what do you mean by why is jumping giving away your positioning?
Well, in this one, you'll see it's on Colosseo,
Mm-hmm.
and Colosseo is a map where if someone's down main and you're peeking down by statue in the middle of the map,
Yeah.
if you were to jump, you wouldn't expect it, but they can hear that from where they are down main. So there's not really a whole lot of uh distance that you can create yourself when you're taking an off angle.
Okay, so that's then you're choosing the wrong off angles, right? If your off angles are so close that they are inevitably hearing you whenever you move or whenever you jump or whatever, right? Then it usually means that you're just choosing the wrong off angles, right? Now the statue on Colosseo, if you're playing towards the back on Mega and they're sitting main by the statue or by the bot, excuse me, that is actually not too close, right? This is fine, and they might hear you if you're like jumping around and shooting and all this kind of stuff, maybe, but that first shot, you will have like absolute stealth, right? And
Right.
so obviously with a burst hero, the first instance is the one that matters the most, right?
For
Here, let me
sure.
actually share my screen here before. So right here, so if you're talking about this angle, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So if they're here, right, and they're shooting down, and like all this other sound is going on, you know what I mean? Like shooting abilities, voice lines popping off, right? And you are holding, scoping here, and you like jump to here, they're not going to hear that. They just won't, right? But if you shoot and then jump and then shoot and then jump, then yeah, they're going to know. Make sense?
Um. Yeah, it does make sense. Of course, very much so.
Cool.
But what I meant is, actually, I wonder if what you're saying actually is something that I ended up doing. We
Okay.
should
Yeah. Cool. I
probably
mean, yeah, we can absolutely
wait
take a
and
look.
see.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So, any other questions or anything else you want to bring up about what you've been working on, about the big takeaways, all that kind of stuff?
Um. Well, certainly. Just a matter of trying to play more.
Hmm.
Certainly, it's been difficult lately because I end up caring too much about the rank, and
Hmm.
this is something trying to preserve this master status, and there's really no reason to when I'm trying to improve at a hero.
Hmm.
Obviously, I'm going to be trying my best, right?
Hmm.
But if I'm trying to improve on a hero, it kind of has to be. It really does have to be about improving over winning. Sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%. And so you're saying that you care too much about the rank, so it causes you to want to play less. Is that what you're saying?
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
And that shows in this one for sure.
Yeah. 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 Now, here's the other thing, right? You do have alt accounts, right?
Two. No, just one alt account. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Now one of the accounts is ranked higher than the other, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So an easy like band-aid for the whole ranked anxiety thing could be to play on the alt while you work on stuff, right? Now there's obviously some disadvantages to that because one, you're literally putting yourself into easier lobbies to practice stuff, and so it's like it's going to be less
Uh,
high quality practice, right? But it
Vice
does
versa, vice versa.
say again.
My alt is the one that's higher.
Right. So I mean, I'm saying whichever one is higher doesn't really matter, right? You could play on the
Okay,
one that's lower, right?
sure.
And then that will
Mhm.
take away some of the ranked anxiety and get you to play more. But it comes with the drawback, of course, is that you're putting yourself into easier lobbies, and so the quality of practice is decreased, right? Is diminished, right? But if that's the only way you can get yourself to play the game in the first place, then that's obviously better than not playing at all, right?
Right. Yeah.
So keep in mind that's always an option, right? And then obviously, as you get better, as you play better, as you win more games on the lower account, it'll approach the rank of the higher account, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Cool. And then at that point, you should have some confidence built up, right? Hopefully, and then, but more so than that, you should have the mentality of focusing more on what you're actually doing in the game rather than the screen after the game, like the rank screen after the game, right? You should
Right.
have practice and repetition with that mentality as you approach the rank of your other account. Does that make sense?
Yeah, for sure.
Perfect. Cool. Okay, so yeah, obviously that's definitely something to talk about if you're still struggling with that. And then let's say like I don't know, maybe like a few weeks or 1 or 2 weeks after this session, you find yourself still struggling with that kind of ranked anxiety. Definitely reach out to me and we can talk about that a little bit further. Okay.
Of course.
Alrighty, cool. So let's go ahead and get started then. Um, any questions you wanted to bring up before we do?
Um, Let me see. I have a little tiny bit of things to touch on. Let's
Sure.
see. Uh, Definitely dying too much.
Okay.
Sometimes this is actually okay because you're experimenting.
Mm-hmm.
I have a friend who's well, a former friend, I suppose. He's very good at Cassidy, and
Mm-hmm.
he was saying, people in the lower ranks that just don't flank enough. And
Mm-hmm.
what he means by that is, there's just not there's not someone off angling a
Mm-hmm.
lot of the time,
Very true.
and well, you got to practice it, and you'll suck at it at first, but you got to practice it to get good at it,
Yeah, for sure.
regardless of losing or winning.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. Very true. Right. Now, obviously, there's a couple rules to live by that can help you skip some of the earlier portions of getting good at it. Right. You can automatically become better at it. Right. One is the
Yeah,
range rule. You always want to be playing in your ideal effective range, which for Widowmaker is very, very clearly longer ranges. Right. So if the
yeah,
only flank options that are available that you can figure out in the moment are shorter range ones, then don't go to those angles anyway. Make sense?
yeah,
Perfect. Yeah. So stuff like that. And then obviously the other rule is like okay, when is a flank useful? The timing of your flank has to match up with what your team is doing. Right. That's just a rule for every hero. Make sense?
yeah,
Perfect. Cool. Yeah, I mean, if you just start with those two things alone, and you're able to kind of implement that alone, your off angle, the quality of your off angles is going to skyrocket immediately. Okay. But yeah, we can take a look at deaths. We can talk about maybe why we're dying a lot. Okay.
yeah. Sometimes it's just uh, mindless, gameplay,
Mm.
and what I mean by that is, there's just not much thought behind it.
Yeah. Right. Right. And so, what do you think is the best way to counter that, to combat that?
I actually, for one, I just sometimes it's just maybe music or something that keeps my mind a little, you know, up. As weird as that sounds, because
Sure.
sometimes, if you're just playing, and it also relaxes me. You know,
The music relaxes you. You're saying.
yeah, yeah, it relaxes,
Sure.
and it keeps me engaged.
Sure, sure, sure. If you find that music helps you and keeps you mentally engaged, then that's I would honestly say that you're in the minority, but that's fine. You know what I mean? If that's true and
Right.
that helps you, then go for it, right? But even better than music, right? How about something specific to the game, specific to your actual gameplay, something concrete to focus on while you play? Wouldn't that be even better than music?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. And that's why we highlight the things that we need to improve on. That's why we condense them down into big takeaways, right? Because then you can use one takeaway per game and focus on that thing, right? So that we're a little bit less like scatterbrained while we play, or a little bit less absent-minded. Make sense?
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. So, any other questions before we start?
No questions.
Alrighty, let's do it. Okay. So clearly, you already have a plan by going this way to use the statue angle, which is fine, and I like that plan, right? This seems okay. Now, see here, the immediate problem here is that we're a little bit impatient when it comes to actually shooting, right? The setup is good, the angle is good, we have a clear target, right? What are some of the things that we want to do to make this shot as easy as humanly possible? What do you think?
Get closer to the target and make it more accessible to the head.
So make their head more accessible, maybe, sure. Get close to the target, absolutely not. Right? We don't want to get close to the target.
I mean, sorry, but I mean specifically is scope, like putting the scope on them.
Gotcha. Right. So you're just talking about crosshair placement. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So what about crosshair placement do we want to do specifically?
Well, mostly the fact that it's actually not level with his head.
Exactly. Good. Good. Right. So head height first. Yeah, exactly. Head height first, right? And then do we want to force ourselves to flick? What's the easiest way to kill somebody as Widowmaker?
Not flicking.
Yeah, we just let them walk into our crosshair, right? And so here we have a bit of an opportunity to teach, like, quote unquote, how to aim, right? But when we're doing something like this, hold on, let's see if I can get this to not okay. Well, this is super frustrating because every time I do this, it's going to take me out of it's going to put me into free cam mode. But basically, okay, look. So let's say we have this is our like POV, right? And our crosshairs here, right? And this guy's moving back and forth like this, right? All we need to do is put our crosshair here or here and wait for him to walk into it and then click, right? I mean, this is like old school, like bread and butter Widowmaker tech, right? So, but pay attention to what we do as a result, right? Or I should say in contrast, okay? So we see the target, right? We acquire the target, and look how fast we shoot here, right? We force ourselves to flick. You notice that?
Right.
Yeah. And so you're making this shot that you've done such a great job setting up, you're making it harder to hit for yourself in the very last step, right?
Okay.
And so what I want to see you do, if this continues to be a trend, right, is to slow down. You have to slow down. And I don't know if we've talked about this in the past, but I've talked about this in with a Widowmaker recently. So have you heard the term slow is smooth, smooth is fast?
Yeah.
Okay, good. That needs to be like ingrained into your soul, okay? It's a thing that athletes, it's a phrase that athletes live by, F1 drivers live by, all this kind of stuff, right? Slow is smooth, smooth is fast. You gotta slow down first, be smooth with it, and then you can pick up the speed. Make sense?
Right.
So this kind of thing shouldn't really happen too often, right? Where we're like way off the target, not head height, and then forcing ourselves to flick this way, right? Now, for what it's worth, obviously the shot's really, really close. I mean, like insanely close, right?
Yeah.
And so clearly you're very mechanically talented. You know what I mean? Your mechanics are not the problem here. You're just rushing the shot and forcing yourself to take a bad shot. Make sense?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So now when they turn, of course they know you're here now, right? This is fine, right? Holding the angle is good.
The enemy has the robot. Retrieve it.
Not bad. I don't hate this.
Time to put a stop.
You see what we're starting to do here, though? Where are we in relation to our cover?
We're leaving cover.
Well, a little bit, but that's fine because we obviously have to peek the enemy, right? But we're actually stepping forward. You see this? Now we're in front of our cover here, right?
Yeah.
So I want you to step to the right, not forward, and then play a little bit closer, just a little bit cleaner, okay?
Yeah.
But these are good shots. And then you see, this is the problem. Now when somebody else peeks us, now when someone new peeks us to relieve the pressure off their team, we're in front of our cover. And this is how we're going to die. Make sense?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So this is just cover discipline, pure cover discipline, right? Just you have to force yourself to play in your cover, don't step past your cover, play range, all this kind of stuff. Okay.
Yeah.
Here again, a very hard shot you're forcing yourself to take, right?
Right.
So instead of shooting this and then grappling for height for like this all or nothing, either you hit the shot and win the fight, or you get hit one more time and die yourself, right? Instead of doing that, how could we use grapple here?
Well, the health pack.
Yeah, you could grapple a health pack. Yep. What else?
Well, you wouldn't really grapple to it. I guess you would, but to be honest, looking for a new angle.
Yeah, just grapple out, right? Disengage this way, right? All possible to do if we're standing on that like axis of cover, right? So right here, right? If we're standing on this line, very, very easy. But from here, a little bit awkward, right?
Right, right.
So again, forcing ourselves into these really, really tough, ugly scenarios because of the way, like, outside of the mechanics, because of the way we're playing. Make sense?
Yeah, yeah. The situation right now, I would say, it certainly not worth deepening the angle, and also my cover is blown. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but why is your cover blown?
Well, I was staying too long in one position.
Nope, that's not why.
Okay.
You had shots here, right? This is fine. Your general position is fine, right?
Yeah.
But why is your cover blown?
My cover is blown because of the I'm shooting. You know, my very audible.
I mean, you have to be shooting the enemy to kill the enemy, right? That's fine.
Right.
Shooting the enemy is good.
Sure. Right.
So why is your cover blown? Look at it from the Zen's perspective, maybe. Ready?
Help over here.
Just standing way out in the open.
Yeah, that's it, right? We used our WASD keys to move forward past our cover, and now we're standing out in the open, right?
Yeah.
If you want to shoot that angle, that's fine. Come here. You see that? So we're not moving forwards, we're moving laterally to open up the angle, right? So don't walk this way, walk this way. Make sense?
Right.
Good. Hopefully that was clear. Don't walk this way.
That might just be pre-fight planning, you know?
Not really. I mean, maybe you could chalk it up to pre-fight planning, but I wouldn't really chalk that up to pre-fight planning. It's again this habit of you walking forwards out of cover rather than laterally. You see that?
Okay. Yeah.
It's the difference between this and this to open up the angle. Because again, this is the same general angle you want to shoot on, right?
Yeah.
So this is bad. This is good. Make sense?
It makes sense. Yeah.
Good. And again, how can we simplify that to a general rule of thumb that we can remember while we play the game? Again, prioritize longer, wider angles. You see how this is a wider turn than this?
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect. That's all we're asking for. Make sense?
Yeah, I do.
And then if somebody, let's say we're here, right? And then somebody swings on us and starts shooting us this way, right? One, we have covered so we can just WASD out and break LOS. Or two, don't force yourself to take a really hard shot by doing this whole fancy schmancy bullshit with the grapple, right? This is like really, really tough. Very, very difficult shot, right? Like, I mean, like,
especially with the spire.
Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, the obelisk thing. Yeah. I mean, Chronic couldn't hit that. Quartz couldn't hit that. Like, it's impossible. You know what I mean? So don't force yourself into these really, really tough situations, right? By like hard committing with grapple jump. Make sense?
Right.
Good.
Yeah.
All right, let's keep going.
Back in control.
Yeah, this is again similar situation here, right? Where we're trying to get back to main to shoot something, and we're a little bit behind, so we're kind of like rushing to catch up. But importantly, nothing is going on right now that needs to happen right away, right? You should take the time to set up a little bit better, a little bit more carefully, because this shot here, again, extremely difficult, right? You have to, you're moving through the air. You have to flick up to adjust. You don't know where the enemies are before you shoot, right? Before you enter this LOS. Extremely difficult shot, right? And the problem with this really is that, you know, now that we hit the bot shot, great, but now we're gonna have to take even more time to set up because we don't have grapple, right? Make sense?
Yeah.
Cool,
I guess
cool.
I was playing too reactively, really, to the hazard. You know,
Oh, your hazard being low, is that what you're saying?
right. I figured, well, hey, this guy could use some pressure.
Gotcha. Okay. Again, very nice of you, but like let him worry about him. You know what I mean? you gotta worry about you. Again, really tough shot, right? Kind of insane that you even hit the body shot in the first place, right? And then now, once we're on this LOS, everyone's gonna unpeak us, right?
Right.
Great shot, phenomenal. So now is when you start to see, okay, they haven't peaked us for a while. They're really aware of this particular LOS. What should we do?
Rearrange, reposition.
Perfect. Where would you like to go?
To be honest,
Mhm.
If I go right side, I'm kind of way too close, So if I go, I really actually now I'm just kind of dumbfounded because of how thin this map is.
Very
And
linear.
where the teams are. Yeah, the teams are very they're going to be one of two places. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. So let me ask you this, right? Obviously, main, if we want to switch it up from main, left side is like a bit like very restricted. We can't really see much, right? Now you said right side we're too close. I would agree if you're walking this way, right? If you're walking at the enemy this way, you're too close, right?
Okay.
But does
So
this
use
feel
that
too close to you right now?
No.
Does, like, let's say if they're standing on this piece of cover, like right here, right? Does this feel too close to you way back here?
No, but it is in some ways, a little more accessible in terms of like getting shot. It's well, man, you know what? I'm wrong. We have the doors to cover, and we can retreat anytime we want.
Right. So my point is, if you want to switch up and go right side, right? Remember, don't walk at the enemy right side. Swing wide right side. Make sense? Come out to the sides more, right? Okay. Okay, so I know what you're going for here. You're trying to go for a grapple shot up top here, right?
Yeah.
But again, very difficult unless you know somebody's here ready for it, right?
And I do, yeah.
Do you?
Yeah, you can hear the Emery shooting around.
Okay, good.
But really, you can just hear all the commotion there,
Sure. So then why do you think this doesn't work, this play? Like, what are we actually messing up?
Taking the time with the grapple.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. And again, same thing, right? Take your time. Slow, smooth, fast, right? If you're flicking wildly, like you're gonna mess up like this.
Right.
You see what we're doing again, right? We're walking forwards, right? These walls come up, and then we walk forwards. Very risky. Very difficult shot, right? Very hard. What can we do instead?
Let's okay. We'll really patiently wait for the walls to drop down, or seek that other angle that we talked about a second ago.
Sure, that's one option, right? You could come this way, open up this way. How about now? Does left side make more sense?
Yeah, I suppose it sure does.
Right? Your team is pushing whoever's over here out to the sides here. So this LOS is going to open up in a second, right?
Right.
So you can absolutely come a little bit left side here and then start switching up your angle, right?
Right. Not sure what the hell happened there with the hazard.
Yeah, so I mean, the hazard, was just like he's really split from Steam, so he's kind of making a bit of a desperate play. But what I want to focus on for you,
the weird animation glitch thing, whatever happened to him.
Well, which part?
You'll see in a second. He jumps in, and then all of a sudden,
this part.
You see what I mean? Yeah.
Oh yeah, this is him. This is him jumping off his wall, right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, so what I want to focus on for you, okay, is again, look how fast we're flicking these shots because of our crosshair placement, right? Where's our crosshair pointed at right now?
I prefer not to talk about it. You're
No,
right.
this is something we have to talk about, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So
It's
we're pointed at the wall, right? So then it's forcing us to flick, and then look again
Right.
here, pointed really close to this this edge here, but it is better, right? So forcing us to flick, and then right here again, pointed at like the bottom, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then we're flicking up again, right? Now that last one is like much more excusable because we're not expecting him to wall himself up, right? So that's a lot more
Right.
excusable. But the first two, very, very difficult. You're making these shots really hard on yourself. You know what I mean?
Right.
Okay. I do like this, but you just have to be careful that there's not somebody already standing up here, right? What if they're Emery were already here? What if they're May were already here? You know what I mean? That kind of thing, right?
Right.
So at least look a little bit before you go. But this is a nice little angle.
Hang on, pause it for a second.
Yep.
I realized part of why I was doing that is it was like this wasn't the session I had in mind to send, and it is because it's the one I sent and it's the one but I stopped after this game. I was actually trying to warm up, so these were like warm up flicks, trying to make
But why are you warming up something that is inherently harder to do?
Well, those shots come in handy a lot, for like tracer.
Yeah, exactly. If you're forced to flick, but why force yourself to flick when you're not forced to flick? You're skipping over the fundamentals, and then you're practicing harder stuff with really, really weak fundamentals, right?
Yeah.
Practice the fundamentals first, and then worry about flicks, right?
Yeah.
Oh gosh. Your team has taken. We've overtaken.
Good shot. Again, this is like just so unnecessary, right? Like we are already dominating the sightline. Our team is pushing them this way very, very soon, right? Our team is chasing them. Just hold this angle.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
There's no need to make it harder on yourself. Yeah, and then this is what I mean. So you're like trying to be flashy before you have solid footing. You know what I mean? And this is a result of that. You know what I mean? Like this is such a this carry should be dead because you should already be here, right?
Yeah, right.
And then I have to ask, right? Why did we drop?
Emery. Okay. I see. We dropped because I didn't know where the Emery was. I had no peace of mind. I hear him actively,
Right. So I think at this point we think that the Emery is like down here below, right?
Yeah.
But wouldn't it just be better if we were completely inaccessible by the Emery and we just stayed up top?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I thought he was actually coming up the stairs, maybe, or really, it wasn't a matter of like it was just kind of preemptively assuming that he was near.
Right.
I didn't know where.
My point is, let's say you were correct in that assumption, and that he was like where you think he is, which is like where you're pointing your crosshair, right? Wouldn't it just be better to not be shootable by the Emery at this range and stay up top here?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then that way we also don't do this where we like waste walls.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so this is kind of what I'm talking about. And we actually did highlight this in our last session too, right? But don't use wall hack so early. Don't be accessible. Don't force yourself to do things the hard way, right? That's really what it's coming down to with your Widowmaker play so far, right? Because you're doing these things, you're doing all these flashy things, and then as a result, you're putting yourself in more and more difficult situations, right?
Right.
Okay. Nice shots. Yeah, I mean, again, see, look how much cleaner this is when you give yourself more time as a result of walls, of course, right? But you give yourself more time to acquire the target. You're not doing crazy flicks, right? Your crosshair placement is perfect. Obviously, of course, helped with walls, right? But it's so much easier, right? You're hitting these shots like 2 for 2, right? 100% accuracy here, right? You choose to not go for the hard shot and you go for the Zen, which is absolutely the right thing to do, right? It's so much easier, right? No crazy flicks, no crazy jump shots, no crazy grapple shots, right? This is exactly what I want to see from you. Make sense?
Thank you. Yeah.
Good.
I understand.
Now, obviously, as they start to, okay, and then obviously, what am I about to say? What do you think I'm about to say here?
Let me just give my poor reason first. It's not the right reason. It's not a good reason.
Okay, sure.
I was thinking get 3 on.
Sure. Now, you know that in this mode that the bot doesn't move any faster with more people on it, right?
that can't be true. That can't be true.
Oh no, it is
You're
true.
lying.
Yeah, no, it is true. And push, like, the bot is maxed out at one person in push specifically.
Shit. All
Yeah,
right.
yeah. So there's like no benefit in dropping down. But obviously, like,
Okay.
even if there were, right, even if there was a benefit, right, what would we like to do in this position? We just killed everybody. We pushed them into spawn. What do you want to do?
Either reposition or hold LOS.
Yeah, good. Take some map control, right?
Yeah.
So you can hold a position like here, like you were just a second ago, right? If you want to
Right, yeah.
reposition, you could come up to here, maybe, right? Something like this. You could even be ultra sneaky and do something like this, right?
Right.
But yeah, the point is don't give all these options up to go push cart, even if it did move faster. Make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then obviously, like, again, walls was not necessary in the first place, because remember when we popped walls, we dropped, we thought somebody was here, we popped walls. If we had walls now as they're walking out of spawn, much more oppressive, right?
Yeah.
Good. Again, like, yeah, this is just not it, right? So we go bottom, and then in order to pressure them walking out of spawn, we have to grapple up and jump. Now we don't have grapple, right?
I realize now, I think what I was trying to do there, I was actually setting up for one of those shots that, you know, as they're coming out of spawn. It's possible. It's very possible. I've done
For
it
sure.
10 times.
For sure, 100%, right? But what's easier, that shot, or literally just standing still and holding the angle for the same exact shot, but more steady? Like, you're not moving.
Holding the angle. What I meant is like going above that wall in the median, in the middle.
Yeah, you're saying this bridge here, right?
Well, if I grapple onto the bridge and you see where they're all coming out of spawn right now, my angle right there potentially allows me to get a kill above that wall where the hazard's standing right in front of me.
Right. So you're saying like shoot on top of here, right?
Yeah.
Right.
I was actually pretty close to timing it, so it seems.
Yeah, sure, for sure. So let me ask you this, right? So if this is the shot that you're going for, right, above the wall,
Yeah.
right? What's easier, that shot or this shot as they come around the corner, or this shot as they come around this corner? You know what I mean? When you're standing still, which one's easier?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Standing down main or even any other
Yeah,
angle.
or just standing still is my point, right? Like, set up early so you don't have to go for the grapple shot and get this really tight timing window, right? This is my point.
Right.
You're subconsciously prioritizing doing the really flashy stuff, right? You saw it in a TikTok or a YouTube montage or something like that, and you want to emulate it, and that's great, right? Like, I applaud your ambition for going for tough shots, right? I think that's awesome to want to do that. But again, hit your bases first, hit your fundamentals first, pick the low hanging fruit first, and then go for flashy stuff after, right? Master this shit. Master the easy low hanging fruit. You're mechanically gifted. You just like push them into spawn. You have this opportunity to leverage when Widowmaker's at her strongest, which is when the enemy team has to push into her LOS, right?
Yeah.
And then you're giving that up because you're doing flashy stuff. That's the real downside.
To develop an understanding as to why this is all happening. You know how, let's say, sometime last year I came back to the game? Well, I came back to the game with like the memories and the installments of what I was doing, what my old gameplay looked like. I was mostly storing just all the flashy stuff, you know, instead of just dumping that out and, you know, and not prioritizing the other things that I used to know much better. Right.
Good. I mean, if that's true, then I think that's a really, really salient, like, self-acknowledgement to make, right? Now, I'm not saying never go for flashy stuff, right? That's not what I'm saying, right? But you need to be able to do the basic stuff first and be a master of this if you want to start climbing with Widowmaker and all this kind of stuff, okay?
Right, okay.
Cool. So, all right. So, let's look. Yeah, this is, we're just not like respecting the hazard, right?
Right. Yeah.
This angle is fine if we don't. Yeah. This angle is fine for now, right? But as soon as we see the hazard here, like this close to us, we have to grapple up. Yeah, we just have to. What I'm
thinking right now is that's like a jump scare.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, but that's the thing. I agree, it's a jump scare, but you're not acting like it's a jump scare, right? You should be acting like it's a jump scare, right? We're just staring down here like we have all the time in the world, but we don't.
Right.
Right, and then of course we're gonna die. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then again, I have to make a point of this, right? Is that the reason our positioning is like so ass, like so accessible to begin with, is because we're pushing cart, walking the low ground, coming up this really long route, and then just standing like here straight down main. You know what I mean? We would like to set up earlier so we can see the hazard coming in sooner, react sooner, position sooner, all that kind of stuff. Make sense?
Okay. Yeah.
Good.
How vexing.
Oh, they have the robot.
Good. I like the crosshair placement. I mean, much better shot, right? Much better shot, right? Here, I'm not even mad that you missed. One thing I want to point out though is that you can give yourself a little bit more room between your crosshair and the corner that you're expecting them to come around, so you have a little bit more time to react, right? But look what we do here.
Right.
We start to float.
It's kind of like a very okay. I see what you're saying. It's almost like the whole Kefri thing, Kefri angle all over again.
Yeah, kind of. But here's the thing, right? You floated a little bit too far to the left, which is then causing you to track to the right. And so instead of moving our mouse, right, we just kind of want to let the target walk into the crosshair here, right? But because in our brain we're still tracking to the right, now we have to react to the Zen passing our crosshair and then still try to hit a flick, right? Again, the best Widowmakers try to move their mouse the least. They find ways to move their mouse the least, okay? And so right here, all we want to do, right? Let's go back a little bit farther here. Right? Something like right here. This is perfect crosshair placement, right? Because if the Zen doesn't know where you are, he's not going to be pixel peeking you, right? So you allow him that like window of human error, right? Where he's like, oh shit, there's a Widowmaker, and then you just click on his head, right?
Right.
Here, this is a little too far, right? And then here, maybe like, you know, maybe if you're playing against worse players, maybe it's not too far, right? So here, don't track to the right. Don't try to track his head. Just let him walk in, right? And then at that point, you're just playing like a rhythm game. You just click, right, when it overlaps. Make sense? Good.
Yeah.
I mean, phenomenal shot. Jesus Christ.
What's your poison?
Good. I think it's all fine. This is again just unnecessary, right? They're hard engaging on our team with Blizzard and all this kind of stuff because I mean you know this, right? Because they're popping ults. So to use our grapple to land in the same place is very risky, right? And again, it's not like we don't have shots here, right? We can just hold this angle, right? Again, hold this angle. Don't walk forward. Let the Mei walk out as she blizzards, and then just click her head, right?
Right. Yeah.
But look at what we're doing. We're walking forwards, staring at tank, right? And then going for some ridiculous grapple shot.
Right.
Same thing here, right? Does this feel like a long-range angle to you?
Definitely not.
Yeah,
No.
definitely not.
It's point blank. This, I'm trying to make it easier for them to walk into my crosshair, you know?
Yeah. But this, again, is like a bit of a Kefir angle because there's like really not a lot of leeway you're giving yourself.
Not them.
No, I know. You're expecting the Mei to walk out. Yeah, but I'll be honest, the Mei is just not going to do that. Like, and maybe in Plat or something like that they would, but you know what I mean? At this point, so once you've disengaged, just go reset, like positionally reset, right?
Right.
A deadly fragrance. Suppress this target. No one can.
That was
hide
more
from my
opportunistic,
sight.
you know. Since I'm already going up anyway, I might as well try, you know?
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. I don't hate that.
Suppress this target. No one can hide
Now,
from my
when we pop
sight.
walls, right, this is like inherently a very defensive wall, right? Because our team can't really like leverage this to go in, or they're not already going in, right?
Right.
So again, I think this is a little early. Your team right now is in the state, okay, we're on our back feet. We just lost a fight. We're trying to group. Some of us are still spawned. Some of us are still spawning, right? So this walls is, again, just too early. Make sense?
It's very selfish, ultimate.
Selfish in the sense that like you're the only person who can take care, like who can leverage it, right? But it's
Right.
like it's purely defensive in the sense that like, okay, they're pushing us. I want them to slow down, so I pop walls, right?
Right, yeah.
Yeah, but it would just get a little bit more value. Actually, no, to be honest, a lot more value if your team was ready to take a fight, right?
Okay. Instead of rather in the middle of a fight.
Or instead of towards the end of the previous fight.
Right.
And then here I want to highlight how we take this, right? This is our target, right? But look at our crosshair placement, right? We're jumping out. We're not even leveraging the fact that we have walls, right? We're not abusing the walls. We're just jumping out and then making this a pure 1v1, right?
Yeah.
And then now again forcing ourselves to flick. And that's hard. That's a hard shot to pull off. You know what I mean?
Right.
Instead of just
fair,
using walls and then going bang, dead, right?
Right. Incorrect word choice on my part. I didn't mean to say to be fair. But for some reason, that Zenyatta skin is very difficult to hit.
Yeah. Zen, when he hits like right clicks, his head actually goes down. It like goes towards the center of his hitbox, so it kind of makes it a little bit wonky. Yeah.
Suppress this target.
Well, I just mean like the whole skin is just weird to hit.
Right, yeah. But here again, like I want to see better setup from you, right?
Yeah.
Slow it down, get the crosshair placement the way you like, the way I know you know how to do, right? Slow it down and then click the heads. Right? Even here, right? You can tell even here. So this shot right here, right? Going for Zen. Why is the crosshair placement so low?
Not enough patience in setup.
Exactly. And then you're forcing yourself to flick up, which again, very awkward movement.
It's a little better now that I've made some changes recently.
Okay, but it's a little bit better. It's like saying I'm multiplying 0 by 0.25%, like 1.25%. You know what I mean? Like, oh, it's 25% better, but we're still missing. You know what I mean?
Right, yeah.
Honestly, like, don't hate that death. I think grapple is like a little bit scatterbrained because we're very, very surprised by the hazard.
Lack of prepared.
Yeah. But you know, I don't hate it. Like, I think it's like kind of reasonable because your positioning was good. He was just kind of overreaching and he died for it.
Yeah. Now, should I be trying to help the Juno here in that against that Tracer?
Back here?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, the Juno's going for it. No, just you know, if she goes in, it's her fault.
Yeah. This Tracer's way over here, right? This Juno's way over here. You're fine, right?
Yeah. Well, look now.
Yeah. I think this is a little early to back up. I think we can hold this angle for a little longer, right?
Right.
Because you know there's enemies in that area and they're going to be coming around soon because our tank just died, right?
Right.
So we can stick around for like one or two more shots, maybe one honestly, but
yeah. Well, I heard the power engaging. I don't know why I did that, to be honest.
Okay.
I just saw it was a dead angle and I knew the tank was dead, so why even?
So here's my point. It's not necessarily dead angle because we know bots over here. Our tank just died, so their team's gonna be pushing forward soon, right?
Right.
And so this angle is still very relevant because what if their Pharaoh flies out here, right? And then let's see if that actually happens. I mean, even if it doesn't happen, it's still a good point. You know what I mean? But yep, and there it is. All right. So this could be a fairly easy kill for us if we choose to hold the angle a little bit longer. Make sense?
Right. Yeah.
Zut, they took the robot.
Oh, that's unlucky.
Yeah. This might sound strange, but I think there's a chance. I was watching that back earlier. that one shot on the attempted shot on the far, I think that would have hit if that wall wasn't there. Can we turn the whole thing on real quick?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I don't know why we're I don't know what it matters, but
it doesn't really matter, but it was just something I thought was pretty cool.
Behind you. Enemy discovered.
it's a little off, unfortunately.
Yeah.
You know, it is what it is. It doesn't really matter.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, this is fine. What you're doing right now is okay, right? You're trying to clear this hazard out. That's fine.
This I understand was like the decision of all decisions. This was the creme de la creme.
Yeah.
This was the embarrassment of the failure of my Widowmaker epitomized.
So why what caused you to think, because obviously I know you're trying to grapple away from the tracer, right? But what caused you to think that forwards was the way to go?
I can't say there was any thought behind it at all.
Okay, alright, fair enough. Alright, I mean, you know what it's wrong, you know why we shouldn't do it. Let's move on.
Right, yeah. It gets me killed.
Yeah, of course. Okay, nice. So here, once you hit the Pharah, right? This Pharah's not going to peek again, right? Because she knows you're there. She's like, you know, you're hard holding the angle, right? So at this point, what do you think we should do?
Look for a new target.
Yeah, just look for a new target, right? Where else can you go, right? Maybe there's a tracer here. Maybe there's like Zen or something coming across here, right? We have a lot of things we could be looking at, right? But notice what we do. We just hard start tank, right?
Which ultimately does very little.
Yeah. I think get the tank really low, but yeah, Suzu comes out and he's just back to full HP.
Right.
So here, again, we start to notice, okay, like, we don't really have a good angle, right? So right now, this is fine. We have shots, whatever, right? You start to lose an angle here. Suzu comes out, right? What do you think we should do?
Not anticipating the Suzu, potentially a grapple to land back on where I'm at already probably would have been a better decision.
Grapple
ideally.
like upwards, you're saying, and land back where you are?
Yeah, right.
To try to hit the hazard is what you're saying?
Right.
Okay, maybe. I don't hate the idea. What about, like, hypothetically, if we could be somewhere like here, right? Wouldn't this be an insane angle? Yeah.
That would be an insane angle, yeah.
Yeah. And now, obviously, again, like, you don't know the tracers here.
But in a situation where, you know, I'm not getting any value anyway, and our tank is dead.
Well, maybe not suicide, right? Because this hazard is so low, and you're so far away that it's impossible for him to chase you here, right? And then if they do start inching towards you, you can always rotate, right? But the point is, I want you to start looking for these angles and looking for these opportunities rather than just sitting up here when we don't have any shots, right?
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, like here, we're just AFK. Not a bad rotation.
So
Fine, push card. Yeah, this is fine.
Is that Brigitte there? She's trying to like stall the points so her team can gather back quicker or something?
Yeah, or I don't know, whatever she's trying to do. It doesn't really matter, I'll be honest. Who cares?
Right.
Okay. Now, as you're pushing cart, right, you see the frontline trade starting to happen here. Does this start to feel like we're maybe a little bit too close?
Enemy forward spawn room.
Not a second ago. I thought, okay, maybe that's really fine. But the fact that I kept holding W.
Yeah. Like right about now, it's just to feel too close, right?
Right. And that, and also, I think one of the problems that I'm seeing here, I'm trying to shoot the tank in a situation where I could be just waiting for an easy shot from the people coming out of
sure, but then there's nothing else to shoot than fine. Shoot the tank, right? That's fine. But the point is that, okay, like now the fight is starting to break out. We want to back up again, or maybe take a different angle, right? Maybe come to here or something like that, or maybe like look for this, right? Look for this, right? But the point is, like, you know, we're still having cement shoes, and we're kind of just like standing around and like shooting frontline, right?
Right.
Yeah, and then we can't get out. You know, it's not a tenable position to try to hold. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay, so not worth talking about Cassidy, you said, right?
They're gaining on us.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's watch the match. Yeah, so same thing with Ashe, right? There's no point in like doing this fancy, what is equivalent to a grapple shot, right? Like, why do this, right? There's just no point, right? And so you want to save it to distance yourself, to dodge things, right? To space things out, and this is like the unintentional punish by the hazard, right?
Right.
Okay. So as this fight is breaking out, let's go back a little bit, right? As we're walking out here, and we're seeing that fight happen on the corner, where do you think we'd like to be?
Deep left, under the staircase. Or no. Actually, never mind. I was thinking. You see what I mean? What I was trying to go for. Perhaps?
Deep left, sir. Deep left, you said, right?
Well, yeah. You see where the staircase goes down.
Yeah, you're saying you want to be here.
Right. Yeah, but that's a bad idea now.
Yeah, we can't see any part of the fight here.
Yeah, maybe like 10, 15 seconds ago, but not now.
Yeah, it was just saying if fight was here. You're saying.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay. Yeah. Maybe. Okay. Now, if we know fight is happening around this corner, where would we like to be?
Potentially in that bank. In that bank to the right.
Here?
Yeah.
Maybe. Not a bad idea. Not a horrible idea. I don't hate it.
Yeah, just taking
Right.
that little angle, draw some attention, perhaps.
Yeah. What else?
And also, really, I'm thinking main, or I could go even like that wide flank on the right, but that could pay off. I could see that paying off. But
Wide flank, like over here somewhere.
yeah.
Yeah, maybe we're starting to get really split from our team though, so potentially just killed. You know what I mean? Because we're
Right.
Ashe and we don't have a ton of mobility, right? But yeah,
Correct,
that is
yeah.
an aggressive option, sure. Now, how about something more along the left side of the map, right? So this is like middle, right? We talked about right side. How about more about the left side? What do you think?
Up top in that building where I was earlier.
So something like this.
Yeah.
Now you see the problem here is that we can't really see around the corner, right?
Right.
So this would be
Well,
okay
there's
for
not
like
really
Widow.
a team fight actively happening very much, other than the Tracer being up there.
Okay, well again, in 5 to 10 seconds there will be, right? Or around this corner, right?
Right. Yeah.
Right. Actually, and there is a team fight actually actively happening, right? Your tank's in,
yeah.
right?
You're right.
Okay. So
I guess pushing up and down where the Tracer is a little bit, maybe helping her out, and then helping
yeah,
the tank.
good. Okay, so that's an idea, right? How about we get up top here, right?
Yeah. Right.
And then now because we're not on Widow, right? This range is so much more comfortable for Ashe, right?
Right.
And then if we
Sure.
get pushed, we can drop down. Let's say Tracer drops the chase, and then we coach back up. Make sense?
Yeah.
Good. Okay. Good. So my point is, you have a lot of options here, right? Don't spend your coach just to go up on main. You know what I mean? There's very, very little value in that.
Right.
All right. Now is to get past the corner, which LOS becomes even stronger that we talked about before.
High ground.
Yeah. Good. Right here.
Yep.
And you've already kind of like positioned yourself to do that, so just keep going. Yeah, here again, horrible. What is the point of this? Right? All you're doing is you're advertising to the enemy team, okay, I am an Ashe and I don't have coach anymore. Right?
Right.
There's like no point in doing this.
It's mostly to make the shot harder. For the Pharah.
Okay, but how about you just shoot the far? You know what I mean? How about you just shoot the Pharah sooner? You know what I mean?
I guess so, yeah. Definitely should,
Yeah, go
what
ahead.
do I do in this situation, considering
What do you
how W the tank's holding?
Yeah, so here you have a bit of a situation, right? You have tank Brig here, Kiri spamming here, right? This is the kill box that their team is forming. You don't want to be in here. Where do you want to be?
Honestly, what comes to mind is as the tank jumps in right there, I could actually go with him, and then I'd have an angle of him attacking my team.
You're saying coming this way?
Yeah, the team that's about to enter that
Sure,
kill box.
yeah, that's possible, right? If the
Right.
tank forces the carry out, that's possible, right?
Right. Yeah.
But what about the setup we talked about before, right? If we were here already,
Yeah, staying up high.
this whole time we'd be on the outside looking in, right? Much better angle.
And, also, what about the? Would you say if I were to go with that situation where I did go with the hazard, diving in,
Mhm.
would you be okay with me grappling to get out of the harm's way with the tank?
Coaching this way.
Coaching, yeah,
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I think that'd be fine. Not a big deal.
Okay.
Now, the something you have to worry about, okay, is like if this hazard comes up the middle, then you're still probably dead, right? So if you commit really fast and really hard, and then get to like once you force the carry out, you don't come to
Right.
here. You like still play towards the outside, right? Then maybe you can push card along, then that's fine, right? But using coach to cross this gap is going to force you to play really really passive. So as long as you understand that, okay, I have to play passive here, then it's fine. But if you coach here and try to take an aggressive angle, you're gonna die.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so now your Moira and your Juno have to like spend all their resources on you to keep you alive here.
Right.
That was a good shot on the Ashe though, or the excuse me, the Tracer.
Yeah, I've been working on one thing with Ashe,
What's that?
and well, you know how there's the left click, right click. Double
Yeah,
tap?
the max DPS combo. Yeah.
Right, and that I've been struggling with actually.
I mean, you just did it pretty well here. So
Right, yeah, but it's a matter of like it becoming. You see what I mean? That's not considered very well in terms of the. So she should be able to do it. Bam, bam. You know what I mean? So
you like
bam,
a little bit
bam.
faster, is what you're saying?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah,
the
but
speed
do you
of which
notice?
that it-
Do you notice why you pause here? It's not because you're slow necessarily, right? It's because you're aiming.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, so it's fine. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
Assistance is appreciated.
Okay. So where do you think the next fight's going to take place?
Main.
Give me a
Wait,
landmark.
What the fuck
Where
is the
main?
Juno doing?
Doesn't matter. Give me a landmark. Where main?
Alright. Main as in where the Juno is. That's where I think the next height. Even a little
somewhere
further than that,
around this
perhaps.
middle part, right? Somewhere towards the middle of the map. Okay. So how do we want to set up for that with Ashe?
Set down main.
Just look down main. That's it.
That was the the initial idea.
Okay. What about your initial idea now? Right? What are you thinking now?
There's
Where, man?
absolutely fucking nothing there.
Yeah, okay. No, I'm saying like in this moment, in this VOD review, not now in the moment of the VOD. I'm saying where on main do you
Okay.
want to go?
Definitely statue area.
Okay,
Not too
sure.
close to the statue, but where the Juno is, perhaps.
Sure. Yeah, something like statue area. Yeah, I think that's fine. Right? Coming here early, right? Poking the hazard
Yeah.
out, not letting him walk on the right side. Good. Right?
Okay,
But do it early,
yeah.
right? Get off the cart here. Get off the cart here. Yep. This is your missed opportunity.
Right. This is me thinking, that 3 on people payload matters.
Yeah, it just doesn't, sadly.
Also, I don't think I value Ashe's ammo enough.
Yeah, ammo management with Ashe is a bit more of a thing than on anybody else, but yeah.
Right. Because it's downtime, you know what I mean?
Yep. And that recall perk saved the Tracer.
Really?
Like right here, you headshot her, which should be enough for like it's like 150 damage, right? So she should be at 25, and then you coach her,
Oh.
right?
I
But
see,
the
yeah,
extra
you're right.
HP saves her.
Fuck. I didn't even think about that.
So here, this is a pretty important moment for Ashe in particular, right? But here again, this is again your habit of like rushing things is starting to appear in other ways, right? On other heroes, right? So when
Right.
you're here, you have a really nice opportunity for big dynamite, right? But we're throwing it before we're even looking where to throw it, right? So you're throwing it at the feet of the tank rather than a little bit higher to maybe hit all 3 of these people. Make sense? Yeah.
Yeah.
So again, big wasted value because we're rushing.
What value, in terms of, like, just getting a clarification on the value of her dynamite?
Mhm.
What value does dynamite create? You know.
Well, let me reverse the question on you. What value do you think it creates? It's a big AOE damage over time ability. What do you think it does?
Puts pressure.
Obviously, right? But
Yeah.
why? How is that different from, let's say, like Soldier Rocket?
Widowmaker. Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
or
Soldier Rocket.
Widowmaker. Yeah, yeah. How about that?
Because it's constantly doing damage.
It's sustained, right?
burst.
It's over a
Sustained,
longer period
yeah.
of time, right? That's one. Two is it reaches
And it
around
forces out
corners.
cooldowns.
Yep, it'll force out
Yeah.
cooldowns. Yep, exactly. It'll reach around corners because it's an explosion, right? It's a big AOE,
Right.
that kind of thing, right? So yeah, that's really your answer there, right? And it's obviously burst damage, right? Big burst impact.
True.
The coach.
This I try and do that situation, you know.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
could maybe
So
get that
here,
double tap.
I'll be honest, like your team is like already kind of losing this fight, so it's gonna be tough. But don't, when you coach up here, the best thing you can do is not isolate yourself from your backline, from your Moira here, right? So here,
So
like
huddle together a little bit. So
yeah, walk towards your Moira a little bit, right? Allow her to help you.
Right. Man, she just she said, "Hey, he's dead."
Yeah, I don't think she even knew you were there. I'll be honest. Yeah, here again, here, super blind dynamite. What are we even throwing this at?
Air.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Like this is not what dynamite's meant to be used for. You know what I mean? It's not like a throwaway ability. It's a damn 12 to 13 second cooldown, for Christ's sake. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right. Looking at
Yeah.
where my team is right now, I was kind of just assuming that perhaps
Exactly, exactly. But what I'm saying is, don't rush it. There's no need to get it out this early. Don't rush
Right.
it. Look for who you want to hit.
Yeah, 12-second cooldown anyway. That should be used more wisely.
By shots. Not bad. Okay, at least there was a thought there, right? At least you're like,
Right.
oh, Reaper's on the right. I want to force him out. Dynamite, fine, right? But again, look how rushed this is, right? You see the TP, right? And then look, you flick over immediately, and then you end up throwing it at a wall, right?
She's gonna blow.
Yeah.
So again, slow down, be calm, be cool, be collected. Slow is smooth is smooth. Excuse me, smooth is fast,
Right.
right?
The adrenaline is showing.
Yeah, maybe. But again, you gotta learn to like rein it in. You know what I mean?
Right. I definitely that was a dodge intentional actually. Yeah.
Was this on reaction, or was this just pure like I'm guessing she's gonna coach me, or she's gonna pulse me?
It was completely guessing because of the way she was setting up.
Sure. Okay. I think even so, if you're like trying to dodge something like this, try not to do it vertically. Right? Try to do it horizontally. Right. So like coach yourself like either away from the tracer or like this way. Right. That's fine too. Because if the tracer happened to pause for a second, this giant ass loop in the air is going to make it even easier for her to stick you. You know what I mean?
For sure. Yeah.
And track you through the air and all that kind of stuff.
Everyone
Yeah.
stay on the robot.
Again, another blind dynamite, right? Huge waste. Huge waste.
Yeah.
Especially because we're kind of close to Bob and we need these ults to fight.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, and there it is, right? So here,
Then
if,
that changes everything.
so here, if you're forcing the tracer out and you're shooting her, right? Like, just fight this tracer, right? Fight this tracer first. Either force her recall or clear her out completely, right? Make her go away so that you're not constantly running all the way into the corner of the map where you can see less, do less, and then just so happens like a Reaper's waiting for you, right?
Right.
So fight the tracer, right? Stand your ground. Left click on the tracer. You don't even necessarily need to right click, right? Even use the dynamite on her. That's fine. Force the recall, right? But
Right.
don't just keep running. Don't just keep running. You're not a Widowmaker
Did I just-
Ashe.
Right.
God, what are you gonna say?
Well, I was gonna say, did I just coach gun? Well, I mean, not the pulse bomb, but obviously I meant the just now. But apparently, the time spectrum of what
Yeah. I got you.
I'm assuming happening in the
Cooldown.
VOD.
Yeah, the cooldown is still happening here. Yeah. So here, right? You gotta stand your ground, fight the tracer. Use the dynamite. I don't care, right? Use the
I
mark.
actually
Get
do
her
get
out.
the second shot. Yeah,
Which,
but it's a blood shot. You see, it's
a no reg.
yeah. No regs are very frustrating. How do you deal with them? Just accept them for what they are.
Yeah. You just accept them. There's nothing you can do. Yeah. I mean, I guess that is a no reg, huh? It's crazy. Didn't look like one. But
Yeah.
yeah, sure. Yeah, and then this is where it starts to go wrong because you're
Right.
letting this tracer run rampant on your backline, and so you're just letting her do whatever she wants, right? Shoot her,
Right.
shoot her, shoot her, shoot her, shoot her. You have to fight it, right?
True. Yeah.
This is your
Avoiding
responsibility
the
here.
hard thing to get. Yeah. You're right. You're right.
Yeah.
And especially with the Moria, I should have been able to kill her. But the thing is that I don't see. I wasn't paying attention audibly because I was so overwhelmed, I guess, but overstimulated supposedly.
Audibly to
Um,
what? Paying attention audibly to what?
The Reaper that's right breathing down my
The
neck.
Reaper is secondary. The Reaper doesn't matter in this case. That's just the end result of your previous mistakes. The thing that you're
Okay.
not seeing is the fact that you have to shoot the tracer here. You have to fight her here, right?
Yeah.
And you have to fight her back here before you switch from this side of main to this side of main, right?
Right.
That's the thing you're not seeing. Okay, the Reaper is
Right.
just a result of like us not paying attention to the tracer, right?
Right.
Okay, so even though the Reaper is the one that kills you in the kill feed, the tracer is the one that actually kills you. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, good. Alrighty. So, any questions so far?
2 minutes remaining.
Well, how do I break the habit of progressively moving in one direction as I'm
Yeah, that's a good question. That's a good question. Yeah. So what
As
you
you
need
can
to
see,
keep
it's
in
a
mind,
really bad habit.
right? So what you need to keep in mind is one, you need to slow down, right? Slow is smooth, smooth is fast. Slow down. Don't rush all your abilities or rush all your shots. Don't try to do everything as soon as possible, right? Because you're making
Right.
the game harder for yourself by doing it, as you've seen like many times throughout this VOD, right? That's one.
Yeah.
Two is you have to keep in mind, right? Like, what is the point of me playing in this position that I'm playing in, right? The point is to fight over map control, right? So if you're here, let's go back actually.
Right.
2 minutes.
If you're here fighting this tracer, right? If you kill or force the tracer to go away, right? What does that allow you to do? The point is not because there's less people on the map, although that's like obviously a benefit, right? The point is now you can use this right lane. Make sense?
Right.
You get to
Okay, I
use
see.
this lane that you've occupied, that you vacated, right? You kill the threat here, you remove the threat here, and then boom, now we get to take that space, right? Now look
Okay,
what happens
yeah.
in reverse, right? It's like it's almost the perfect opposite, right? The tracer's clearing you out, right? You run away from the lane, and now the tracer gets to use the lane, right? Same exact thing, but in reverse. Now she gets to use the lane. Make sense?
Right. It doesn't.
That's the bottom line, really. Like that is like how Overwatch is played, right? You fight over
The
a
fact that I
lane.
wasn't even thinking about taking that space is kind of bizarre.
Well,
you
it's
know?
not. Yeah, I mean, think about taking the space after you win the space, right? But the point is, you have to win the space first, right?
Right.
As Widowmaker, you have much less agency to win this fight, right? So it's more understandable that you have the like in subconscious habit of like, okay, just avoid Tracer, right? Because you are
Right.
more of a Widow player than anything else, right? But
For sure.
if you're going to branch out to other characters, right, you have more tools to fight and clear this Tracer. So you have to understand, okay, it's more my responsibility to, right?
Right.
So you have Dynamite, right? Force to recall, left click without the scope, right? Because that does still do a decent amount of damage, right?
Right.
All that kind of stuff. Make sense?
Yeah. Yeah. Quick
And
question.
even more so as someone like Cassidy, right?
Right. Right. Well, Ashe and Cassidy, I would say, have very similar rules.
Yeah, just different ranges is kind of what I'm getting at, right? Because Tracer is a short range
Yeah.
hero, and Cass is better at that range.
Right. And really, my question is, I guess I'll have to see if I can come up with a better, because I don't even have it even
Okay, okay.
fully stored yet. Go ahead.
No worries, yeah. So what I want to talk about next is like the summary type stuff, right? So let's highlight your big takeaways, and then let's talk about a few ways to really get you to actually start working on them. Because obviously it's nice to identify them, but if it's in one ear out the other, then it doesn't really help you, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
you're
so
right. I need
let's
to solidify it.
right. So first things first, what do you think is your number one biggest important thing to improve on right now?
Making hard shots easier.
Yeah, how do we do that?
Being patient.
Yeah, good. So don't force yourself into tough situations, right? How do we do that? Slow is smooth. Smooth is fast. Okay. So don't try to use every ability or hit shots as soon as the opportunity presents itself, right?
Right.
Instead, what do you think?
Play patient. Be patient.
Yeah, but what are we
That's
using
just
that
the same
patience
thing
for?
as, well, what we just talked about. No, just making shots easier.
Right, but how do we do that? Like, what are the actual micro things that we talked about that are going to make the shots easier?
Getting closer to the target and
What's closer to the target?
your crosshair.
Good. So crosshair placement, right? So
Right.
pay a
Yeah.
greater attention to crosshair placement, right?
Mm-hmm.
What else?
And
What happens before crosshair placement?
well, before crosshair placement comes positioning, right?
There we go. Good, good. So pay greater attention to detail to crosshair placement, right? Our own positioning, right? Where we're standing on the map, our own angle, right? And then specifically in relation to crosshair placement, or excuse me, positioning, is distance control, right? Depth control. Make sense?
Yeah.
What do you know what I mean by when I say distance control?
Sorry, I'm autopiloting right now. Would you repeat yourself, please?
Yeah, so pay greater attention to detail to crosshair placement, our own positioning, and distance control. Right?
Yeah.
So what do I mean by distance control?
Well, what comes to mind is what I was doing when the Reaper killed me, trying to create that distance, but
So
keeping
okay,
her
let's
away
go
from
back.
getting too close.
Let's go back. Okay.
2 minutes.
Yeah.
So something like this, right? Again, the Reaper's not the issue. What was the issue here? What was the problem?
I know it's not a hard question, but I do struggle with some of these cognitive things.
That's okay. It's okay.
Let's see.
What
Mostly,
did
I
we
would
talk about?
see- Well, we talked about prioritizing the tracer.
Yeah. Why is it important to prioritize the tracer here? Why was the bottom line?
Space.
What about space?
Or, well, taking control of
Good.
certain areas of the map.
Good. Good. Point is, if we win this, we get to use this. If we run away and let the tracer win this, now she gets to use this. Make sense?
Okay. Yeah.
That's the point. Okay. Reaper, again, not really important. Not really the point. He's just the manifestation of your mistakes. Make sense?
Right.
Okay. So when I'm talking
I
about
would
distance
say-
control, go ahead.
Right. I would say that describes Reaper pretty well. Go ahead.
Right. Yeah. Good. Good. So when we're talking about distance control, right, we're more so talking about stuff like. Let's go back to the very first fight.
Oh shit.
Time to put a stop to their efforts.
Like this, right?
Right.
We need to
yeah.
control the distance. We need to be really, really aware of when we walk too close to the enemy team. Now, this is obviously like a very nitpicky example because you don't know the Zen's going to be there, but this is just habit, right? Instead of walking
Right.
towards them, walk to the sides to open up the angle, right? A better
Right.
example would be any of the times in the middle where we die to the hazard because we're too close, right?
Right.
So, like
The
for
numerous
example,
amounts of times.
yeah, like right here, right? Distance control right here, super, super like relevant, right? Hazard comes up, we need to be super, super aware of the distance and control that better between us and the hazard, right? So as soon as hazard
Right.
comes up, we got to grapple out. Make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, good. So what are the three things we want to pay attention to? One more time.
Distance control, patience, and crosshair placement.
Yeah, so cross replacement was good. Patience, patience is like how we're gonna work on all three of these things, right? So that's like the broader umbrella, right? But it's
Yeah.
our own positioning, right? What
Yeah.
angles are we taking? And then distance control relative to threat. Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, so one more time. What are the three things?
Distance control, Man, my listening skills are being tested.
Yes, they are. And we're gonna sit here and I'm gonna keep asking you until you get it.
All right, go ahead.
What are the three things?
Uh,
Good.
Shit. This is gonna be a long. All right, distance control.
Mhm.
Crosshair placement
Yep.
and target priority.
Nope. When did we talk about target priority?
We didn't. I know. I was just trying to throw a shot in the dark. I
Mhm,
don't know the
mhm.
third one. I know the
So
two
so
other ones.
distance control is about positioning relative to threats, right? But what would we talk about positioning beforehand?
Jeez. This is embarrassing.
Okay. Let's go back.
Yeah.
So let's go to maybe
2 minutes.
so here, what are we talking
Making
about?
shots easier.
Yeah, this is all part of making shots easier, right?
Yeah, that would be target priority, or no? Not not target priority, but crosshair placement. No.
2 minutes.
So
That's part of it. Yeah, that's part of it. Let's go back one more time. Right. Hold on, let's see. As this fight was coming around the corner, right?
yeah.
2
So
minutes.
right about here, right?
2 minutes.
We talked about, okay, if we're pressured from here and we're pressured from here, you remember this? Right? We talked about, okay, would it be okay if we went this way? Yeah, that's possible, but would be even a better position.
Well, the high ground.
Yeah,
that's
good.
what we were talking about.
Yeah, good. So that's the third thing, right? It's distance control. Distance control is like how much distance is between me and a threat, right? But
Right.
positioning is like where are you actually going on the map, right? What angles are you choosing, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So distance control is like a facet of positioning, but in general, you want to pay attention to your positioning to make these shots easier, right? Because this shot on the brig and hazard is a lot easier than this shot on the brig and hazard. Make sense?
Certainly.
Okay. So what are the three things?
I'm trying to start with the third one. Positioning.
Yep. Good. That's one. What else?
Distance control
Yep. What else?
and crosshair placement.
There we go. Perfect. Boom. There you go. Slow is smooth. Smooth is fast. Right? And
Yeah,
just like that, right? We took it slow. You got it down. Right? Now you just got to make it smooth. Right?
Yeah.
So what are the three things? One more time.
Positioning, crosshair control, and crosshair placement and distance control.
Good. Right? You see how you tried to go fast and you kind of stumbled? Smooth it out. Smooth it out. Right? Slow it down.
In the speech?
Yeah, like in everything, right? If you want to get good at something, you got to be smooth with it first, right?
Yeah, you're right.
Good. So the whole point, right, is slow down. Don't force yourself into tough situations. Slow it down. Get it smooth first, and then worry about the speed. Okay. So we're
Right.
going to be patient. We're going to slow down. We're going to set ourselves up as much as possible, right? And so in order
Yeah.
to set ourselves up as much as possible, what are the three things we want to pay attention to?
Again?
Yeah, again, one more time.
All right. Positioning, crosshair placement, and distance control.
Good. Good. There we go. Okay. So that's all under 1 point. Okay. Slow is smooth, smooth is fast. And those what three things you want to focus on within that, those are the three things. Okay?
Right.
Good. Okay. So what's the second point? And I really think we only need two.
Okay. Second point. Of
What was
we
the-
talked about entirely? Like,
Yeah, yeah. What's like second biggest thing you think you need to improve on? And I'll give you a hint. It's right
2
Here.
minutes.
target priority.
I don't want you to think target priority as if it's like, oh, this is like this is a better target to shoot. That's not really the point, right?
Right.
What was the point of this? Do you remember?
Stop ignoring the tracer.
Yeah, good. But what was why? Why are we finding the tracer here? Why is it important?
I'm trying to look for a terminology I don't have, but mostly because we're trying
Just
to
use the terminology you do have. It doesn't matter.
get rid of her.
Yeah, why?
Because it relieves pressure.
Yes, but then what does it allow you to do?
Take positioning.
Yes, good, right? We force the
Yeah.
tracer out. Now we get to use that lane, right? So this is what
Yeah.
space control means, right? Where I mean, the terminology really doesn't matter. The point is that we fight her here, we clear her here or kill her, and then now we get to use here, right? And then the same exact thing happened to you as a result of not doing that, right? You get cleared, now she gets to use the lane, right? And there it is. Make sense?
Yeah.
Good. Okay. So, one more time, right? What's the thing that we're actually trying to improve on?
Well, you said the terminology doesn't matter.
Yeah, I agree. Doesn't matter. So you use your own terminology.
Clearing out and claiming space.
Good. Love it. Good. Very good. Okay. So how would you explain yourself? Because you're going to forget some of this, right? How would you explain to yourself that concept? What we just talked about. What do you think?
Well, it would seem that my inability to make up terminologies that stick is going to show again. Because last
That's
time I
fine.
came
Just
up with fucking
use
solar
your
panels.
that's fine. Use your own words, right? As long as it makes sense to you, then it'll make sense to you. You know what I mean?
Sorry about swearing. Is that
No, it's fine.
That-
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
okay?
So one more time, right? How are you going to explain to yourself this concept of fighting over the lane, and then we get to use it? You know what I mean? Talk yourself through it.
Dude. Not very cognitive at the moment. I don't think I understand how I'm supposed to.
Okay, so imagine you're talking to future you, right? Right, you've forgotten a little bit, right? Maybe some time has passed, so you don't remember the VOD review itself super clearly, right? How are you going to how are you current you going to explain to future you this concept that you need to improve on? This concept, okay, we need to fight the tracer here. Why is it important for us to fight the tracer here? Go ahead.
Nothing quite comes to mind.
Okay. So take it one thing at a time. Right?
I would need like probably another example of the same situation happening.
Okay. Hmm. Okay, I hesitate to give you another example because I don't think you need one, but that's fine. We can look at another example, right? Let's go to about
Bring in the rain.
here, okay? So, Tracer comes to pressure you here, right?
Yeah.
Okay. We have two options, right? One, fight her. Two, run away. Or run this way, right? Basically, but this is the same option, right? Run away is the option, right? Run away or fight. Okay.
Right.
Now, if we fight her here and we clear her, right? We have the opportunity to now run, if their team starts to pressure us this way, we now have the opportunity to use this space, right? To run away this way or to take an angle this way, fight over this lane, right? Something along those lines, okay? If we don't, right, look what happens. And we choose to run away, we run away in the only other lane that we have, and now we're dead, right? Now we're like in the middle of their team. Make sense?
Right. Yeah.
Okay. So, the point is that sometimes we will have to plant our feet and fight over the lane. You understand?
Yeah.
And what is the point of fighting over the lane? It's so that once we win it, we're either going to, one, deny the enemy team from using that lane for themselves, or two, we get to use that lane.
Okay.
Right?
Freeing up inaccessible positions
Okay.
or something along those lines,
Yeah,
freeing
sure.
space
Sure. How are we going to free it up?
by using the target priority for the person who's in that lane.
Okay, but I don't want you to, like, it doesn't matter. The target priority is not like really that relevant, right? Like, it doesn't matter who the tracer is, right? It's not the fact that she's tracer, right? It's that you're
Target priority is
prioritizing.
in like she's the one who's like in the space.
Yeah,
It
good,
doesn't matter, like,
exactly,
she's-
exactly. So it's
Yeah.
like position priority basically, right? It's like lane priority,
Yeah.
right? Good,
Right.
good, good. So let's use that term. Let's use lane priority, okay? So especially as Ashe in particular, right? Sometimes it'll happen for Widow too, but because Ashe is
How
a
about
character
lane
who
priority
can,
control.
yeah, sure, that's great. Yeah, we can do that, right? But especially as Ashe, because she has more of an ability to fight over lanes than Widow when she gets pressured in the short range, right? So you want to prioritize controlling a lane, right? So lane control priority is what you said, right?
Yeah.
Good. Try keep in mind lane control priority. Okay. So what does that mean to you? What is lane control priority?
Now it means to claim space by force
Okay.
or claim lane by force. I
Okay,
suppose is a
good.
better way to
Yeah.
put it.
Control lane by force, aka if we force tracer or if we force enemy out, right? We get to use that lane for ourselves, and we deny enemy from using that lane. Make sense?
Yeah.
Good.
Right.
So you need to be able to identify these opportunities when that's happening, right? And then commit on them. Make sense?
Okay. Yeah.
Good. Um, any questions about the current big takeaways?
None that come to mind.
Okay. So what I want you to do, okay, is either make post-its or something like that. Don't let this escape from your head as soon as as soon as we end the session, right? So write this down somewhere, or I'm always going to pin it in our DM, so that's fine too, right? But
Right.
make sure that you refer to this as you play the game or before you play a game. Okay.
Right. Right.
Cool. Alrighty. Good. Really good work today, Jonathan. I'm proud of you. I know some of this stuff was really tough to fight against yourself and push through the mental barrier. You know what I mean? Like, so I'm proud of you for being able to do that. Okay.
Thanks.
Yeah. No problem.
Yeah.
Any final
I
questions?
haven't. It actually reminded me of school. That exact hurdle was something that my teachers have always failed to put me in pressure. That's the reason why. This might be a little embarrassing to admit, but I was pulled out of school early because I kept getting in fights. It's because I couldn't. I was too busy dealing with.
Other stuff, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and the teachers could never actually.
Yeah, I get it. I mean, listen, like it's
Pressure.
not that you're incapable of figuring this stuff out. You might need more repetitions. You might need more time. Whatever it is, right? That's fine. But again, slow yourself down. Allow yourself the opportunity to piece apart some of this stuff to figure it out. Okay.
Right.
All right. Okay, so I'm going to stop the recording there. Good work today, Jonathan. Honestly, really good stuff. And I'm looking forward to seeing what you can do. Okay.
Of course. Please let me know when the video is uploaded because I
Yeah,
haven't
absolutely.
recorded personally either as well.
Yeah,
so.
yeah, we'll do.